Happy Monday, fun day with the Archfiend. Boy, that sounds stupid. God, it is some crappy ass weather out here in the Northeast. Cold ass, rainy, windy. Ain't even April yet. This winter is just being a mother humper. Anyway, a few things I want to talk about here today. No real specific set thing. Like I usually have like two main topics I cover. I just want to go bang, 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 bang through a couple topics. First of which is that roast of the Archfiend, which you should check out before you watch this video. Anyway, have you gone back and watched it yet? Good. Okay. Anyway, I had waited a couple months to make that video. I did that deliberately. Number one, it tended to get people more angry in the comments. That's the thing I wanted. The angrier the comments. That's my version of a roast. The angrier the better. And it drew that out of you guys because a lot of you guys were getting impatient because I said in the video prompting that roast that I was going to make it in like a week or two, and it ended up being like almost 5 months. And for the most part, it worked as well as I thought it would. And I wanted to make it originally as an April Fool's Day joke where I was going to somehow show the video, but then it would be something else, which may or may not be planned for April Fool's, so I don't want to go into it in too much detail, but I was just kidding about that. Where am I? But then I was like, well, it's going to be too obvious if I make the actual roast of the Archfiend on April Fool's Day, because no one's going to expect it. Or the twist that I had, I was just going to say, like, instead, well, then anyways, I had a twist in the roast video that I had come up with where I was like, okay, I can still get an April Fool's Day type prank out of this and to you guys by making that video and just saying how, oh man, things are like abysmal here on YouTube. This place is a shithole. A lot of people are stopping their content productivity, and I had that video that I made the day before talking about the negativity and the popularity of negativity, which was strategically made, and it just fit perfectly because, like I said, I made that video about the popularity of negativity here on YouTube. I did that with the sole intention of the next day I was going to be teasing you guys about saying I was leaving YouTube for good. Now, in all seriousness, I do consider leaving YouTube as a viable option, specifically at this point, but it's nothing that I absolutely want to give up on, so I'm going to keep continuing making videos here for you guys until it becomes a complete abysmal bore of all angles, whatevers. Then I'm going to stick around. All right. Anyway, so I did that twist at the end, and a lot of what I said had truth to it. I don't want people to think that, I just fabricated everything and there was no truth to the things that I was saying, because there is a lot of truth. And there's a lot of things that have me on the fence about leaving this website for good, because it, in a lot of ways, is nowhere near as fun on this website as it used to be. And a lot of the content is garbage. Just so much. And I know what's garbage to one is not garbage to other. And who am I to tell you that watching videos of people fake pranking people and spinning it as real and stuff like that that's dominating the airwaves here on YouTube nowadays, like Let's Players screaming like infantile children. There's an audience that tunes in to see them, so who am I to tell you? Just because it's not my cup of tea, it's not going to be the website's cup of tea, because apparently it is. Anyway, there's a lot of truth into what I said, so don't think, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to bring this up, is don't think that there was no truth to that just because I, at the end, said, like, yeah, I'm not done making videos here, blah, 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 and I said, it was a big prank on you guys, which it was, but there was a lot of truth into what I said in the end of that Roast of the Archfiend video. So, moving along, what next? Batman vs. Superman came out. Didn't see it, but what I did see is just the outpouring of negativity for this film. My God, the film apparently, and I don't know, this might be a spoiler to you guys out there, but apparently the film isn't perfect. I don't know about you guys, but when I go in to see a movie, I expect perfection. Anything short of that, failure. Complete failure. Anyway, from the looks of the box office receipts, a lot of people willingly paid to see it and willingly continued to pay to see it, although there was an immense amount of negativity coming out of that Thursday night release. People still went to pay to see it Friday. People still went to pay to see it Saturday. People still went to pay and see it Sunday. So the immense amount of negativity didn't stop people from going to the box office. And in a way, like again, I didn't see the film yet, but I want this film to succeed because a lot of the spin-offs and obviously, and I know, spoiler warning, I know that this is going to be the start of the Justice League and other characters are going to be incorporated. So obviously, that's where they're going with this film. They're going to bring in new characters like you saw Wonder Woman. I'm going to assume that Aquaman and a number of other people, because I know some of the films that are in the works, so obviously they're probably going to make a debut. And again, sorry if this actually happens and I'm spoiling it, but there's probably going to be other peripheral characters, so I'll just stop talking about it. But anyway, just again, the amounts, it's like people go out of their way to spew the negativity about this film. Because frankly, there's a lot of people that don't like Ben Affleck as Batman, but they were never going to like Ben Affleck as Batman, no matter how good or bad he did. And I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing just a lot of people say how they were let down with the film. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it is terrible. Maybe it is terrible. I'll have the same reaction that all the people telling me it's terrible, but I'll make my own mind up for it because no one has deterred me from, no one's opinion about this movie is going to deter me from actually going to see it. And I'm still going to go see it. Anyway, but like I said, I just got off my one point of, I want this movie to succeed because one, I love comic book films and a number of other specific piece films that are going to have Justice League members, specifically focal points of individual Justice League members, are going to spin off from this film's success. If this film crashes, burns, fails, a lot of those future projects would have to be scrapped because the studio that invested, over $300 million in just the creation and marketing for this movie, like that is insane. If this movie doesn't turn a profit that is at least on par with movies like The Avengers, then they're going to be like, well, we can't bankroll these movies at this higher rate, at this higher cost, and you're going to start seeing movies get cut away from the future of the franchise. But it looks like it had a pretty good first opening weekend, so sigh of relief for Sony. You know, they can worry about Sony behind this? Not Sony, whatever. Anyways, it's looking good for the franchise, and a comic book movie lover like myself is going to get to see more comic book movie films. Yippee. What else? Oh, nothing here in Philadelphia other than a little-known team by the name of the Villanova Wildcats beating that Jayhawk ass. Oh, shit, did I not see that coming? Now, I'm not going to get on my high horse too much about this because honestly, in the regular season, I saw like 3 Villanova games all season. I'm far from a diehard fan. I'm loyal to my city. So I'm going to temper my enthusiasm here and my excitement because at the end of the day, us in Philadelphia know we're waiting for that kick in the nuts. And right now, Syracuse is kicking everyone in the nuts, but we ain't at Syracuse just yet. Oklahoma's up next. Now, everyone, this is what I hate. Everyone is like, Kansas was the team to beat. Therefore, the team that beat them now becomes the team to beat. But who's to think anyone could beat Villanova because they beat the best team in the tournament, apparently? I hate that shit. No, I don't want confidence in Villanova. I want them to be a dark horse that's known for choking. That everyone is going to be like, no, you can't put any confidence in them because they're playing well. They're playing well. Like who had them in their brackets even getting to the Elite Eight, let alone the Final Four, let alone a very probable championship. Oh, okay, I won't get ahead of myself. Anyways, just good on the Wildcats. This team is playing amazing. Amazing. Total domination in the first 3 rounds and taking it to Kansas, and I wish the refs would stop blowing their whistles as much, but I mean that to the detriment of both teams. But boy, would that be a nice little Sunday surprise to get a championship in one of the places that you would least expect here in Philadelphia, out of a college team. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, and realistically, I would be so much more excited if this were any other city, because it's just like you're just waiting for this to fall short, or you're waiting for it to be heartbreaking, just to be a gut-wrenching loss. Like what Syracuse did. Oh, Syracuse was down by 13 points against a number 1 seed? A 10 seed against a number 1? Virginia, how do you blow a 13-point? Sorry, I started drooling on myself there. Wow. See, if it ends up being Villanova and Syracuse, I'd be like, that's it. Congratulations, Orangemen, you won. Because like when there's teams fighting against, I mean, how do you win after being down 13 in an Elite Eight game and being a 10 seed against a 1? Like, I'm sorry, that is just destiny. That is just destiny on your side. And frankly, I don't want to face destiny in the final round. But that's not overlooking Villanova. I mean, that's not overlooking Oklahoma. I'm just enjoying it. Well, the Flyers, they really took advantage of the Detroit Red Wings losing 7-2 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Followed up with a loss of their own Saturday night. Like, the Flyers just keep getting, like, it's like, here's the playoff spot. Here you go. Detroit just said, oh, here you go. We just put it on a platter for you. You don't want it? Why don't you want it? I'm sorry, but I'm just all Villanova up right now. I got no time for the Flyers jockeying around for an 8th spot and just completely pissing it away every single time it's handed to them. Frankly, I think the Islanders are just gonna barely play 500 hockey down the stretch here, and they're gonna let both Detroit and the Flyers into the playoffs. It's the Islanders, I know they won Saturday night, or Saturday during the day, but anyway. What else is going on in the world? Is there anything you guys have been telling about? God, I keep ignoring like all the topics that you send me from like YouTube comments and Twitter and stuff, and I'm drawing a blank on anything that you guys tell me to talk about. Let's talk about something that I like on YouTube. Okay, that's a good idea, Archfiend. Well, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. Let me think of something here real quick. I'll just stall till I actively think of something. OSW review. I don't ever talk about them enough. OSW review, I've been binging them because it's leading up to WrestleMania and actually will end with WrestleMania. OSW review on their YouTube channel have been uploading from WrestleMania 1 on down the line. They're up to, I'm watching 5 this morning. They're uploading 6, obviously. And then after that is 7. Anyway, their reviews of WrestleManias and pay-per-views in general that they've done, and movies and video games, they do it all. Give them a chef hat, they'll cook you up a souffle that you won't believe. I honestly don't know if they can cook, but they probably can, because they're Irish. All Irish people can cook. What does that mean? Is that racist? Probably not. But anyway, I anyways, let me just cut the rest of me. All right, enough ass kissing the OSW review. Anyways, Jay Hunter, what bar am I anyway? Black hat, black shirt, white face, graying goatee. Anyway, this year's Wrestlemania, because obviously I can't talk about it next Monday. I'll be watching it Sunday. I was going to do some sort of Wrestlemania live broadcast, but I am just not feeling it this year. Holy shit, am I not feeling it at all this year. I got to be somewhat motivated, excited, anticipated. I've watched every Raw for the past 2 months just to get up to speed, because I've watched maybe 2 Raws since last year's WrestleMania before this stretch where I started watching Raws. And this build to WrestleMania in my lifetime, which covers every WrestleMania, is the absolute worst. Like, it's not even close. This is the absolute worst. And I remember Undertaker Freak uploaded a video back when Shane McMahon re-debuted and was announced as the opponent for Undertaker in this year's WrestleMania. And I left a comment on the video, it's still there to this day, where I said how, like, you know, okay, this is exciting all, but they've got a lot of explaining to do, because right now, this story makes no sense for this match to even be conceived or carried out. And here we are, with 1 Raw left to hype up WrestleMania, and I can tell you right now, I have the same exact comment towards this match. It makes absolutely no sense, and they've given no explanation as to why The Undertaker would have a match with Shane McMahon. Forget that, why he would even agree to have a match with Shane McMahon, given the stipulations that are on the line, and hearing the ridiculousness last week that was Vince McMahon coming out in Philadelphia at Raw saying how, like, you know, if Undertaker doesn't win, this will be his last match at WrestleMania. Like, it didn't say last match in wrestling, it just said last match at WrestleMania. I don't know if that was a screw up on his part, a botch, or he is, you know, leaving the door open to him losing and then having a match on the next pay-per-view or SummerSlam or something, and then that ends up being Undertaker's final match. We got 1 Raw left to finish this up. And people are, like, so dead set on, like, you know, well, at least, you know, forget the storyline crap and it being all, you know, checkerboard explained. You know, at least you're going to see, you know, a big, huge spot fest from Shane McMahon. He's going to take a fall off the top of the Hell in the Cell. And I'm like, do you guys realize that Shane McMahon is probably 30 to 40 pounds heavier than when we last saw him wrestle? And he's also many years older. Like, you know, he's not like the thin, relatively quite fit individual that we used to see that was wrestling, you know, Kurt Angle at the King of the Ring or Test at SummerSlam and, you know, stuff like that. Like, this is not the same guy. And on top of that, did you see the flurry of shit punches he was throwing at security and Undertaker in these weeks leading up? Like, this is terrible. Awful. Oh my God, we're almost at 20 minutes. Anyways. As for the rest of WrestleMania, I like the Brock Lesnar match. I like the AJ Styles match. Other than that, I am looking forward to absolutely nothing else on this card. AJ Styles and Jericho should be good. It's kind of weird that you have a 4th match in a feud culminating at a big event like WrestleMania, but I don't know, maybe, you know, Jericho's on like a limited contract and they just want to get one more match in with him. But there's showing no love to the NXT guys, man, because I thought Kevin Owens was going to get a singles match, but now through a clusterfuck of 3 other guys in the match or 4 guys, who cares? It just turned into a clusterfuck match for him. I see. I'm like even having trouble thinking it. Like we're a week out. The New Day, which I don't I missed the memo on why them acting like complete imbeciles and saying the word booty and all that stuff is so entertaining. But they're one of the more disliked individuals to me that are on WWE right now. Like I don't get it. Like I just don't get it. As far as in-ring performing, they're fine, but all this shit on the mic, it makes me want to turn the channel. And I'm like, what am I missing? What am I missing? Anyways, they're in a match with somebody, the League of Nations, I guess. That's a great feud, because the League of Nations are about as over as a dung trapped in a swamp of shit. That was disgusting. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, while I think it's going to be a good match, based on what you saw Brock Lesnar do to Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns at Over the Limit, the worst named pay-per-view in the history of pay-per-views, what you saw Brock Lesnar do to them, it makes you go like, well, there is no level of screw job or interference of any kind that makes you believe that Dean Ambrose is going to stand a chance at beating Brock Lesnar. Like it will not make sense. So while I like that match, it's going to be a good match. The winner is very obvious. And I mean, other than Dean Ambrose using the chainsaw that Terry Funk gave him, there's no way in any sort of rationale, kayfabe, wrestling logic that you can explain how Dean Ambrose can come away the winner in that match, given what Brock Lesnar did to both Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns at the previous pay-per-view. So that brings us to the main event, what I guess is going to be the main event, because WWE will be stupid enough to make this the main event, but I don't know how they really can't. The belt's on the line, it's Triple H, it's Roman Reigns. They keep trying to get Roman Reigns over as face, and it just makes me want to put my head through the fucking television. Now, I know they're going to try and save the end of this WrestleMania. I don't know, they're going to have like Cena show up and turn heel at the end and like align with Roman Reigns in some sort of heel fashion that turns him heel as well. Because Roman Reigns needs to be heel because he gets booed out of every goddamn building. But they keep trying. They keep trying to sell him as the face. Oh, the biggest thing, and a couple friends of mine went to this Raw in Philadelphia last week, where Roman Reigns cuts that promo in the beginning against Stephanie where he's like, your husband's not here because he didn't want to get his ass kicked all up and down Broad Street. Whoa, that's a street in Philadelphia. That's where the crowd pops. And the guys I knew that went to it just said people were laughing at him because it was such a cheap way to try and get a face pop. It's like, oh, he's repping a street in our city. Oh, snap. Whoa, cheer for him. No, the audience didn't buy that shit because Philadelphia ain't corny like that. This ain't a flyover state. You get the memo, Vince. So when they do things like that, they're proving that they're trying to sell him as the face in this main event match with Triple H. And that was sold even more when Triple H cut that vicious heel promo in Pittsburgh, talking about what losers people are in the crowd and how unsuccessful they are compared to him and all just vicious, scathing heel heat that it should have gotten. Roman Reigns comes out at the end to beat over Triple H, and he still gets booed, and Triple H gets cheered. Why the fuck are they like they're that delusional at WWE? They are that delusional that they think Roman Reigns is going to be a face right now. It just ain't gonna happen. And they're sticking to their guns and they're so stingy with it. And I'm like, How can I get hyped about this event? How can I get hyped about this event when this company is so fucking delusional? I might make a video afterwards because I don't feel like doing a live show this year, guys. I don't have it in me. This card, the card sucks. Spare a few matches. Like I love me some AJ Styles, and I think that's gonna steal the show and all, and Dean Ambrose for that matter, of Brock Lesnar. But I'm sorry, I need a little bit of explanation and logic in my fake wrestling. And that Undertaker Shane McMahon match makes it literally makes no sense. Why the Undertaker is being such a bitch, as Undertaker Freak would say, to Vince McMahon. Like, why? What does he owe? What does he have? And they haven't even teased that Vince McMahon has something on Undertaker, and that's why he's like, at least tease that. And not just the week before going into WrestleMania, because frankly, doing it tonight, too little, too late. You lost any aura of specialness that match could have had. My God, 26 minutes. I'm going to lose my mind if I talk about WrestleMania much more. See? Negativity here on YouTube. All I could talk about was the negative shit, but I talked about how good the AJ Styles match was going to be and how Dean Ambrose and Brock are going to steal the show. Because it wasn't all completely negative here. Anyway. Oh, WrestleMania. Sorry, no live show this year, guys. I don't have it in me. I don't. I was waning back and forth on doing it, but I'm just like, I would just be such a cynical, bummed out asshole for 90% of the show. And what fun is that to watch? I know people are going to be, oh, do it anyway. I want to watch this cynical, bummed out asshole just piss all over the show, because frankly the show's probably going to deserve pissing on. But I think something big is going to happen to end, and I'm at this point, I wouldn't be surprised again if it's a Cena heel turn that somehow turns Roman Reigns heel at the end of this show. I don't know. That's just my wild card prediction. As for winners in the matches, I don't know, and I don't really care. Because again, if I don't care about the show, I really don't care who wins, who loses. It's all fake anyway. I'm sorry, did I offend the internet wrestling community by saying wrestling is fake? I'm so sorry. Anyways, another video for you guys after the death of the Archfiend, after I told you I was done making videos in that roast video, which was just a tease. I may or may not have something else very unique planned for April Fool's Day that you're going to be like, God damn, I wasn't expecting that. But I may have nothing at all. So what I owe you guys anything? Have a good day, everyone. There's nothing else in this video, guys. You can go.